the way in which Sanjana was introducing me, for a minute I thought she was going to introduce Dustin Hoffman. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Let me start off with a fact and a myth. The fact. Socrates mentored Plato. Plato mentored Aristotle. Aristotle mentored Alexander, and Alexander the Great went on to conquering the world. That is the power of mentoring. So I'm here to talk about the art of mentoring. Should have mentioned that. You mentioned Dustin Hoffman. Okay, take that. You're the lady in red, so you get the privilege today. So the question, who is the mentor? Again, the myth over here. In ancient Greek mythology, it so happened that there was a character. His name was Mentis, and Mentis was a friend of Odysseus. Now Odysseus wanted a person to go ahead and be a personal advisor for his son Telemachus. Now Mentis, from whom the word mentor is derived, was a person who had previously mentored Hector, because he found out that Hector was all out going ahead and attacking Achilles. Now Achilles had a horse that only he could ride. Nobody else could ride. And Mentis was a person to go ahead and warn Hector, saying very clearly that nobody can go ahead and touch the horse that Achilles rides. And Hector took heed to that particular advice and he became quite successful. Now legend also has it that Apollo, the ancient goddess of wisdom, actually came disguised as Mentis. So the proverbial goddess of wisdom is Mentis, and the proverbial goddess of mentoring is again Apollo. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are having a mentor, the mentor is a person who's probably distilling the knowledge or the wisdom that is being given from the past, from the individual. Okay, few myths that I'd like to go ahead and start off with. Number one. Myth number one. You need a mentor to succeed. Fact, you don't. His name was Vinay Desmond Kamath. Vinay, unfortunately, is no longer with us. I mean, he's still alive. He's no longer with us, as he's no longer in Bangalore. He is based out of Mumbai now. Now, Vinay Desmond Kamath was one of the finest people that I've ever personally seen in my life. Now, he was the first distinguished Toastmaster from India and from District 82. Vinay Desmond Kamath was the co-founder of LA124 and DJ's Toastmasters. And in my opinion, the finest table topic speaker that I've ever seen in my entire life. You've seen people who can go out and speak on a topic at the drop of the hat. Vinay Desmond Kamath can sing a song that he's composed at the drop of the hat and play it on the guitar for not for 2 minutes but for 5 minutes, and he's done that on a hot seat session for half an hour. I've never seen such kind of a talent. But that kind of a person, that kind of a talent, Vinay Desmond Kamath did not have a mentor, did not want a mentor. But was he successful? As a corporate trainer, he was one of the most successful trainers ever. And as a spiritual person today, the bishop, the archbishop goes and contact him today for a lot of things. So myth number one, you need a mentor to succeed. No, there are people who are successful even without having a mentor. Number two, you can have only one mentor. Personally, I have a lot of mentors. In advertising, Mr. Kariyappa was my mentor. In the field of theatre, I have one mentor, Ratan Thakur, Christopher Xavier Grant. 5 names for one person. And in training, I never had a mentor. A lot of people say I'm reasonably successful because I didn't have a mentor. If I had a mentor, I would have become like them. So people say I have my own unique path. So you can go ahead and select a lot of mentors for different things. You may never know, and you will probably find out that one person is really good with one particular skill. I mean, I love the way in which TK goes ahead and is able to respond spontaneously with a sense of wit and humor that only he's capable of. So if I were to go ahead and do a humorous speech, I could probably look up to his services as a mentor. If I were to go out and give a nice philosophical speech, which is a very, very serious friend of mine, I'd look for Mr. Nagaraj Rao. You know, he's the Socrates of our District 82. You know, a person with that real strong demeanor and professional approach, I think I'll probably go for him. So different people, you know, different strokes for different folks. You can go ahead and look at different people. Okay, next one. A mentor has an answer to all the problems that you have in your life. You know, a mentor does. Sometime back it so happened that I had this particular mentee, and this particular person was a teenager, raging hormones. So he fell in love, and he came to me and he said, DJ, I've fallen in love with this girl. There's nothing wrong with it. That age, probably they fall in love. So he came up and he said, DJ, I want you to propose to the girl. I mean, on my behalf. Otherwise, on my behalf, I want you to go ahead and propose to the girl. Now, I have a problem because in my whole life, I proposed to only one girl, And that one girl is my wife now. Okay, so you see I have a 100% strike rate. So if I were to risk it again, my strike rate will get decimated by 50%. Huge problem. And the second problem, if I do an exceptional job, the girl may probably fall for me and not for him. Other extreme, I do such a lousy job that because of me, she ends up hating him. So I told him very clearly, by principle, I don't go ahead and do all these brokering jobs. You're taking away my actual profession. I wear several hats. This is not the hat that I wear. So obviously, I think you just go ahead and have to reinforce certain things that you don't have an answer to all the problems. A lot of people think that in every domain, in every sphere, you have an answer. I have a small video over here to go ahead and demonstrate that. Okay, just because you're an expert in one field doesn't mean to say you're an expert in every other field. Okay, a mentor is always older than you. Probably the HR fraternity over here would agree with me. Today there's a new concept in human resource development called reverse mentoring. Today, people who are younger are mentoring people who are older on issues, on trends, on technologies that they are more comfortable with. So today it is a phenomenon as far as the corporate world is concerned, so there's nothing wrong with us going ahead and incorporating that in our Toastmaster fraternity also. I belong to a club called DJ's Toastmasters, and most of the mentors are in the age group of the early 20s. A lot of people who join our club, especially people in the late 30s, they go out and say, no, I want a mentor who's older than me. I don't want a mentor who's just about 23. The world's youngest distinguished Toastmaster from our club, she's just 23 years old. Now people go and say, no, 23 years, she cannot be my mentor. Yeah? But she's seen more speeches, she goes ahead and mentors more people than probably a person of a different age. So age has nothing to do with your capacity to go ahead and mentor. Okay? Myth number 5. Only young people need mentors. People at all age need mentors. I was quite surprised, shocked actually to find out that Richard Attenborough, a person who's probably around 80 years old, went and solicited the services of a mentor for a film that he wants to make on Ernest Hemingway. So at 80 years, the man is actually looking for mentoring, and I think there's nothing wrong with people going ahead and looking at any particular age. And the last thing, mentor is always right. Chances are, mentor could also be wrong. A lot of occasions, it so happens that the mentee could probably have a better idea with regard to a lot of things. Okay, so types of mentors, I'd like to throw the floor open now for a small discussion. There are so many mentors that are actually listed. I've classified the different types of mentors in 2 forms. Number 1, the tormentor and the augmenter. So let's look at what are the qualities of a tormentor. Anyone? The qualities of a tormentor. If you had a tormentor in your Toastmaster, don't mention the name. Because you're on, Deepak is focusing on the audience now.
He criticizes.
Sorry?
He criticizes.
Criticizes. Caustic criticism. Okay, good. Then what else? Aggressive. Okay. Truth is coming out.
Destructive feedback.
Sorry?
Destructive feedback.
Destructive feedback.
He
Okay.
pushes and pushes and pushes.
Pushes and pushes and pushes. Bad.
That's a good one.
Okay, then. What is? Self-obsessed. You're a mentor also. Okay. What else?
Sarcastic.
Sarcastic. A lot of people are revolving around just one point. That's not feedback or criticism or anything else. Dr. Mushi?
It's my way or the highway. That means what I say is the Bible.
Good.
More authoritative.
Okay, too authoritative? He doesn't try to understand. Doesn't try to understand. Very good. Yeah.
Discouraging.
Sorry?
Discouraging.
Very discouraging. Okay, fine, great. Now I've listed a few things. Number 1, clones his mentee. How many times have you seen? You look at a particular speaker and you know who's his mentor. Very clearly. You don't even know what project he's giving. You know clearly, I can see shades of that particular mentor in the person. Body language is also the same. It so happened that I had a mentee, this girl's name was Lizelle, and I believe I used this gesture a lot. She loved this gesture and she also started doing it, and she started missing the embodied gesture. It was very embarrassing for her. She came to me and said, DJ, you see, you do this very effortlessly. I said, how is it that I miss? Then it struck me, I said, are you a left-hander or right-hander? I'm a right-hander. I said, then you should should do it with the right hand. Oh, really? I missed that part. So you can imagine, people just go and blindly imitate their mentors, not even knowing that the person is probably left-hander or right-hander. Next one, gives a false image. Okay, now there was a particular speaker, I don't want to mention his name, he was a Toastmaster. His mentor used to glorify him every time he used to speak. Every time he used to speak, he used to say, like, I think Barack Obama should resign from the post of president. I think the way in which you spoke, I think people were having their eyes very moist. This is the way in which a mentor would go out and bust up that particular individual and went on telling that particular individual, you should quit your job and you should get into training because you will make the finest motivational speaker ever. And the person on the other side of 40 quits his job, a nice cozy job that was feeding him very well, starts releasing advertisements in the leading mainline dailies, soliciting people to join his motivational workshop, and whatever savings that he had went down under. And I think he had probably not a very successful tenure as a trainer. So the point is, try to be realistic. I like this particular phrase that was used in a Toastmasters magazine a few years ago. Praise the praiseworthy. Don't give undue praise when it's not needed. Praise when someone has done a good job, praise. Instead of going ahead and just building it up, the quality of one of the dormitories. Next one, takes credit for everything in life. Whatever the particular individual has done, take the credit. So, mentee gets a promotion, you say, I was instrumental in streamlining the sale. The mentee gets married, take credit for that also. I won't go to the next level, have children, no. Takes credit for everything. I have this mentee, I'm really, really proud of her. Her name is Mala Mary Martina, belongs to our club. Youngest distinguished Toastmaster in the world and a person who's really, really making waves. Well, recently she started a company called I Love Mondays. I can take credit for that. I can tell, of course, she went there and contacted me, we had coffee for about a couple of hours, and after that she went and started the company. But that's her brainchild. That was her effort. And she's gone ahead, and I can't take the credit for just about everything. So, a tormentor goes in and takes the credit for everything, and I have the other extreme of the tormentor also. If the mentee does a good job, see, that's my mentoring. If he does a bad job, that's his normal self. You should have seen him before I mentored him, he was worse than this. So people just go ahead and get into that particular syndrome. Okay? Sometimes they don't know what they're doing. Okay, what are the qualities of an augmentor? A positive mentor. Anyone? Excellent. Understands the needs?
He knows the strengths of
I thought you were telling me the time, sorry. Yeah.
He knows the strengths of the mentee and then plays on that side.
Plays on that, okay.
Inclusive.
Inclusive, very good.
Doesn't mess up with the speaker's style.
Doesn't mess up with the speaker's style, okay.
Encouraging.
Encourages, good.
Allows the mentee to have its own style rather than
Own style, good.
Brings out the best in you.
Brings out the best in you, super.
Listens to the mentee.
Most important, can you give a big round of applause? Most important, we're going to have a small listening exercise right now, because I think a lot of times, a lot of people believe mentoring, 1 hour mentoring, I talk for 55 minutes. And the remaining 5 minutes, hi, how are you? Fine, thank you. Do you have anything to add, anything to delete, subtract, edit, and all the other things, okay? Very important, and the capacity to listen. Anything else? Any balances? Please make some noise. Take it.
Helps you add value to yourself.
Tries to add value to yourself, fantastic, okay? Great. One of the most important things is authentic. Genuine towards the growth and the needs of the assigned individual. Practices what he or she preaches. A lot of people I've seen in Toastmasters, they've never seen the mentors giving prepared speeches at all. They go and they say, I wish I had seen a prepared speech from my mentor. So probably, a lot of people after a particular point in time, in most of the clubs, they are assigned some designated roles, general evaluator. Certain designated roles, that's about it. Nobody even calls them or even requests them because they believe that, okay, fine, you already reached the threshold of Toastmasters, so we don't think that you probably quite fit into the normal scheme of things. Okay, so practices what he preaches, also gives a few examples so that, people can go ahead and draw from that. Is personally involved in the growth and listens. Okay, so we're going to have a simple listening exercise right now. I kindly request everybody to pair up with someone. You can pair up with Dharma if you can. Everybody's not a pair. Okay, great. Now, we're going to do one thing. I'm going to demonstrate this with my friend Satyana and Raju over here. Now, the first thing, one person is talking, the other person is listening. And I want you to play the role of the distracted listener. The distracted listener doesn't establish eye contact. He's looking everywhere. Okay, Raju, describe something. Don't ask me questions, just describe something. Something that I think you went to Bhima or something that, yeah, please describe your trip. To me.
Yeah, every year I go to my native place for Pongal occasion and meet my parents and visit a few of my relatives in villages around. I go to colleges. And
Okay, this is what you got to do. Okay, don't establish eye contact. Just go ahead and appear to be distracted. If you want, go ahead, play with your mobile phone, play with anything else. Yeah. No, okay, fine. Get it. Everyone's got time? Okay, all the people are speaking. How does it feel? Insulting, embarrassing, annoying. Why are you embarrassing a lady? Hello. Okay. How does it feel? Irritating. Lose your train of thought. Lose your train of thought. Okay. Okay, fine. Now the next level. Waste of energy. This is called a selective listener. What does a selective listener do? Waits for a person to say something so that he or she can launch his or her own story. Okay? So, Satyam Raj, okay, Bhima, you're Pongal.
my native place Bhima.
Actually, my native place is Hyderabad. You know what? I never stayed in Hyderabad. You know, I actually grew up in Chennai and lived in Bangalore. My wife is actually Bangalore. That makes me a 50% Bangalore.
This time I find it difficult to get a train ticket.
See, for a lot of people, every time they find it difficult to get a train ticket. They're actually very lucky that only this time you found it difficult. See, trains have become a big nuisance as far as travel is concerned. I would probably say that you can take your car and go. It's much more easier. Yes, the petrol is pretty much higher, but I think that it is
And even during traveling in my car, I find so difficult because I
yeah, see, traveling in a car itself is so difficult. Can you imagine? Your own car. You know, if you are traveling in my car, this is what you got. This is the selective listener. Waits for the speaker to go ahead and give enough ammunition so that you can launch your own story. This time reverse. You can go ahead, the speaker becomes a listener becomes a speaker. Okay, just reverse it again. Demotivating.
Why did I start a conversation with? Why did I start a conversation with this?
Don't want to speak with me. Why did I have a conversation with you? Body language. What is it?
When will you stop speaking?
When will you stop speaking? Okay. Okay, great. Sorry?
Interruption.
Okay, interruption.
It was very normal.
Forget, sorry?
It was very normal. It was like you and your wife.
That was my next question. Are you married? Okay.
I forgot my content.
No.
I forgot my content.
If you get the content, okay, great. Yeah. Selfish. Don't point a finger at me and tell Okay, great. Now the next one, you have the person who's a passive listener. Establishes eye contact but no facial expression, doesn't nod, doesn't acknowledge, doesn't speak a word. Raju, again.
I'm very happy to be here. Actually, I'm looking for this type of programs to learn as much as possible in post-mass movement. Listening to three great speakers makes my day.
This is what you got to do, okay? But if you're sitting next to a girl, don't look directly into eyes. You may intimidate the lady, okay? Okay, fine, carry on. This is the passive listener. Okay, fine, carry on.
Talking to a wall.
Continuously looking also discomfort for you or for her. Talking to a wall. Talking to a wall, okay? First, yeah, initially it looks a bit okay that the other person is at least acknowledging, but after a point in time, as our LGT said, again it's like talking to a wall.
So one-way conversation.
One-way conversation, anyone?
It's like you're asking for pay raise.
Not even a
Pay raise.
It's like a monologue.
Yeah. Is he real in listening at all? Yeah, last one, anyone? Bakra mil gaya.
No connection, no.
Okay, no interaction, yes?
I got the impression he didn't want me to listen to him.
You didn't want to listen? Okay, fantastic.
It's
Okay,
like a monologue.
Monologue, okay, fine, great. Now this is active listening. There are three ways of active listening. Okay, number one is I repeat every sentence of what the person says. Raju again. Back to Raju, yeah. Pongal. You love reading books?
Yeah, I love reading
Yeah.
books. I believe in the wonderful quote by
Because you believe in the wonderful quote of Mahatma Gandhi.
Live as if you are going to
Live as if you're going to
die tomorrow.
die tomorrow. Okay.
And learn as if you are going to live forever.
And learn as if you're going to live forever. Okay.
And that's why I read a lot of books.
And that's why you read a lot of books. Okay. Okay. Now you have the other extreme of this. They just repeat the last word a lot. Okay, carry on. Yeah.
I love reading books.
Books.
I learn a lot of things from people.
Things.
People who have achieved something and they write about
Something.
and it's great to learn from people who have achieved something.
This is one extreme. Just repeat the last word to give an indication. How does it feel, Raju? Someone have to do this. It's very irritating that someone is repeat. A lot of people think it's an excellent way to go and listen. Right? They believe by repeating verbatim what the other person is saying or just highlighting something, you have an excellent way of going and listening. Good active listening is where I don't repeat every word of what the person says, but I rephrase what the person says and I try to encapsulate the emotion or the feeling state of the individual. If I were to repeat you, if I were to go out and acknowledge the fact of whatever he said by showing that I'm a good listener, I could go about telling, okay Raju, I believe that you are a person who loves reading books and I see the excitement in the fact that you read a lot of books. From the quotation that you said of Mahatma Gandhi, I do find that you remember whatever you read also. So what have I done? I've reinforced whatever he said, rephrasing what he said, and I've also gone ahead and used the word. What is the key emotion that I saw and he was excited when he was talking. So reinforce it. That is actually said to be active listening. Comes with a lot of practice. Probably say, you're going to start practicing, you'll find that the quality of your relationship improves tremendously if you become a good listener. Okay? Now, okay, now the most important thing that a good mentor or a dog mentor does is pushes a person away from the comfort zone into what is called the zone where true magic or transformation does take place. You know, if you are asking the person to just go ahead and cocoon the person in the comfort zone itself, it is going to be quite difficult. I still remember one of my mentors in Toastmasters took me to this particular place where there were a group of people. It's another organization because the cameras are on, don't want to mention the name of the organization. But it's one of the organizations that's, they do a lot of social service. And this particular organization, you have individuals who come primarily for networking. So he called me as a speaker over there, and people were waiting only till such time that the bar was open. So I was the stopgap arrangement for the bar to be open. The minute the bar was open, I think the audience was supposed to be empty. And my mentor told me very clearly, in Toastmasters you have a captive audience, but I want you to be exposed to this kind of an audience where the audience does not want to listen to you, but you have what it takes to holding their attention. Right? Pushes you away from your comfort zone into a place where you believe the true magic can actually happen. Okay? Great mentors don't tell you what to do, they show you how it is done. I have a small video over here. I love this movie, I can see it 100 times, and I believe that this epitomizes this quality. Okay, mentor gives a short-term boost. A lot of times, people go to a mentor in order to get that extra flip as far as the life is concerned. One of my favorite characters in history is Alexander the Great. I love this particular depiction given by Oliver Stone. One particular scene where Ptolemy looks at Philip and he says, "One look at Alexander the Great, and you believe the word impossible doesn't exist. You believe that he can do just about anything." I mean, can a mentor inspire that kind of a confidence, that kind of a feeling, so that the person is willing to go ahead and brace the impossible and take up extreme challenges? Okay, I have a small video that just goes ahead and talks about the powerful.
It's gotta be the puppy chow. Get your puppy off to a great start. Purina Puppy Chow builds strong bones and muscles and supports a healthy immune system. So he can keep on amazing you. Incredible puppy food, incredible puppies. Purina Puppy Chow brand.
Okay, are you a person who is so excited to see a mentor that you believe that, not leaping out literally, but figuratively trying to go out and leap out and believe that you can go ahead and push yourself extra bit? There are a lot of definitions that are given to mentoring, a lot of technical definitions, a lot of classical definitions, but I believe the simplest definition that I can give you is the fact that mentoring is actually a relationship. It is an intimate relationship. Intimate, I'm not referring to physical. An emotionally intimate, a spiritually intimate, and intellectually intimate relationship. Physical also, because I think today there are new trends of mentoring. There's the SMS mentoring, there's the email mentoring, there's today WhatsApp mentoring, there's Facebook chat mentoring. There are different kinds of mentoring. There's nothing like the good old face-to-face mentoring. It really works. So mentoring is a relationship that you